beautiful souls. I am Valeria Maritza at Healing Through You. I am an infinite being of light, and so are you. Today, I want to talk to you about violence. Yes, violence. We are seeing so much violence in the world right now, everywhere, really. And it has become the norm. So, you turn things on, you see it on the videos, you see it on TV, you see it everywhere. And the scary part is that it's accepted and seen as a good thing and is seen as good for them for standing up and la di da di da. Yet, what we don't see, what we don't understand, is that violence never really wins. Why is that? Because we are all one. We are all part of the entire consciousness. I am part of you, you are part of me. We are part of the world, we are part of the animals, other people, other beings, nature, everything. So, whenever we take action against someone else, something else, we are actually taking action against ourselves, right? Big, big, big concept here of all of us being one. Every time something happens that triggers us, every time that we see something that makes us feel angry, upset, shameful, whatever it is, and then we take action as a reaction, right? A reaction that makes us act in a way that we wouldn't have if we had the time to think about it, see things in a different way, or maybe if our cup wasn't already too full, right? So, what does that mean? I'm going to go a little bit to the side, a little bit. Um, when we are so stressed, imagine yourself as this cup of water, right? And the cup of water is halfway full, and you're stressed. And then, what does that look like on the glass of water? It's just you just shake it a little bit, and the water goes up and down and comes back in, right? And it just shakes around a little bit, but it doesn't actually spill. The more stress that we put in our lives, the more water you put on that glass, right? And then when something stressful happens, what happens? You shake that glass and water goes and spills all over the place. And, you get wet. You lose some water, right? And that's what's called, letting out some steam, right? You get out some of that water, and now you have the level of the glass of water has less, and you can shake it a little bit more before it overflows again. So this is what happens when we are super stressed and when we are absorbing all of these things from consciousness and from our surroundings. The more news you watch, the more things you're watching that are violent, the more you add to your glass of water. And then when something happens, it triggers you, and it triggers you in such a way that you overflow. And when you overflow, you do things, you behave in ways that you wouldn't have done or acted or expressed yourself if that water in the glass was only half full or lower, right? When you're able to see things differently and like, okay, that was weird, or that was hurtful, or that was, not called for. And you're able to step away, walk away, remove yourself from the situation. So many different things that you can do in order um, to deal with what's being presented. But when we are super stressed, glass full of water, then we spill out, and we spill out in ways that most of the time we regret. And this is what's happening. The more and more stressful things, more violent things that you are watching and you're absorbing, the more that your glass gets full. And whenever something else happens, you just snap. You snap, you lash out, you yell, you can hurt others, you do things that sometimes make you feel as a child again, a child who just like lost control and, oh my gosh, what did I do, right? And I haven't learned my lessons yet, so to speak. So this is happening because of what's going around. And then here's the real scary thing. Is everyone else around you watching? and either agreeing with you, applauding you, or standing by you, even though deep inside your own self, you know you have acted inappropriately. That is the conformity and that we as a people are receiving, being exposed to so much stress and to so much violence that it becomes a natural part of our lives. It becomes a natural consequence. It's like, yeah, that happened and good for them, and this is good. And if this happens, I would have acted the same way, and more violence and more violence and more violence. And what we don't realize is that because we are all one, every time that we accept that, it's kind of like talking badly to you, to yourself, your own negative talk. Then all negative talks of saying, I am not good enough, I can't do this, I should have X, I could have B, right? All of these things that we come up with come up from feeling that we are not good enough. And when we are feeling this way, that we're not good enough, we tend to fill up our cup with more and more stressful things, and we begin to feel and believe that this is the normal part, that this is normal, that this is reality, and that this is the way to go. When in fact, when you connect with your inner self, with your inner child, with your soul inside, the part that knows what's right and wrong, you could be on your own and feeling shameful and regretful. And maybe you don't want to tell anyone else because everybody else is like rooting for you. And you're like, oh my gosh, what is wrong? What is wrong with me that I feel that I did the wrong thing? And then these people are telling me it's the right thing. Do you know what I'm talking about? Are you following me on this? I don't want to lose you. And I'm just getting the hit to explain a little bit further on this. It means when we are so stressed and we fly off the handle and we lash out at something or someone, and then we feel regretful inside, yet people around us are telling us that it was the right move. Yet we inside ourselves know it wasn't. And we don't know what to do. And it creates confusion. And this happens because it has become the norm to see violence and therefore to use violence. And now the next thing is to applaud at the use of violence. Not going to happen. This is not the way it's meant to be. This is not the way that we were meant to be. You are a divine being of light. You were created in love. You are pure love. You have forgotten this when you decided to come into this earth in a human body. You decided to forget all of this. And this is what we're trying to remember, who you truly are. Connecting back with your soul, not your body and your ego. You want to connect back with your soul. Remember who you are. Remember your divinity. Remember your infiniteness of who you truly are in love. Every part of you, when you look at something and you criticize, you're criticizing yourself. Because whatever it is that thing or that person or that whatever is doing that is triggering something in you, it means it's being triggered because you actually believe a little bit of it, and you believe that part of you is that triggers you. It's a little bit of a going back and forth here. When you see somebody doing something wrong and you don't like it, or it makes you feel uncomfortable, or you're angry at it, or whatever, it provokes some type of emotion that is not love. It means that deep inside you, that's part of you that you don't like about yourself. And this is why it's triggering for you. If somebody does something and you don't believe you have any of that at all in your body, it does not trigger you. It only triggers you because you believe that part of that is inside of you. And then what do? We react, right? We react, and we might lash out ourselves and do something that's also hurtful outwards. But because we are all one, it's the same thing as you hurting yourself. Okay, I'm pausing there a little bit so that this can kind of sink in so you understand what it all means. Every time you say something against someone, you don't like somebody, you put the blame on somebody, you tell them or speak out to your friends about someone who doesn't even know you, but that you don't like, you are talking about yourself. You are talking and sending that negative energy back to yourself. When you send out love, even if you don't like what's happening, even if you don't like what you're seeing or the way other people are behaving or other people who are using violence, you send love to them to heal that part of you. And you know what? When you heal that part of you, they actually also receive that. It doesn't mean they're going to stop acting the way that they're acting, that is not a nice way. It just means that they also receive that part and they're a little bit less what they were because you have healed that inside of you. We cannot continue to send out ill thoughts, feelings, and energy outwards at everything that we do not agree with and don't like. Because what you're doing is you're sending it back to yourself. It's part of you. So, what do? We begin to acknowledge, okay, I'm getting triggered by this. Why is this triggering? It means that I have that part of me. Where is it? Feel it. Feel within your body where it is that you're feeling that part. Like, are you really that? Come on, you have to be like really honest here. Am I really that? Am I really feeling that? Am I really the one who actually criticizes or who want to do these bad things or things that are hurtful to others? Where in my body am I holding this? And then once you realize that, yeah, I do have a little bit of that in me, then you send it out. You can either send it up towards divinity, down towards the earth. You send yourself love. You forgive yourself. You thank yourself for being able to realize this, hold this information, and then transmuting it out of your body. And then what else? You tell yourself you love you. You love yourself. I love myself the way I am. I love myself. I love me. I love me. I love me. Why? Because the more love you send yourself, the more you heal that wound, that part of you that you didn't like, that part of you that got triggered. And then once you feel loved and calm, you have healed that part of you. Sending out and acting on violence does not help anyone, especially not you. And again, we are all connected. The only way to raise the consciousness of the world, of the species, of everything, and have a higher frequency that you are sending out to other people, that your life is moving at a different frequency, a higher frequency of love, of healing. The only way that happens is when you go within, you look deep within yourself. What is it that I need to move? What is it that I need to look at? What is it that I need to forgive in me? And love that part of you and love all of you. And then by doing that, you raise your frequency and that of everything and everyone else around you. So, really, really deeply look at this slowly, because I know it's not going to be something that's going to be really accepted love and like, oh yes, I agree with it, because it's difficult. It's difficult to understand and see and even agree that anything that triggers us, anything that we see outside, it's actually also part of us, that we have a part of that inside of us. It's very, very difficult to come to that understanding, but it is imperative that you do, because it's true, because it's part of you. Everything comes together as one. the more love that you can give yourself, the more healing that you can do within your own self, your own body, your own consciousness, your own soul, the more light that you can shine outwards. And the more light that you can shine outwards, the further you can reach. And the further you can reach, the more souls that you can help heal. Therefore, raising the frequency of the entire planet. So, this one is a little bit heavy content here coming through, and it's a little bit really reflective, really needing the time to let this sit within, let it reflect on you, and just let it go. And perhaps in a day or two, it will come back to you and you will actually integrate what this message is and understand really how it works. It's really important to get in touch with your own higher self, understand that we are all one, and that violence is never the answer anywhere in anything at all. All right, guys, let me know how this felt for you. If you have any questions, also let me know. How would you let me know? I have no idea. Again, I am not the technological queen here. I am the light language queen. So if you would like any more of these beautiful messages, please subscribe and share so that other people can also find the messages. I love you so much, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.